So let me ask you a question. What's worth more, a huge pile of gold or a single meal? Today, we're diving into an ancient Buddhist text, the Sutra of Time Past and Future, that uses this very question to unpack the incredible power of a single choice and to reveal two totally different visions for the future of humanity.
Now, that might sound like a modern philosophical thought experiment, right? But believe it or not, this was the exact question a group of monks were actually debating thousands of years ago, right after they'd finished their own meal.
And you can imagine, the debate got pretty lively. Some of the monks, they argued for the gold. I mean, it's practical. Think of all the good you could do with it. But others insisted that the merit, that positive karmic energy you get from a good deed, that the merit from one simple act of kindness was worth way more than any amount of money. So while this debate is going on, there is one monk. His name is Ānanda, and he's just listening quietly. He didn't have to guess or theorize, because for him, this wasn't just a theory. He had actually lived the answer. And this, right here, is where our story really kicks off, by taking a look way back into his past. See, a long, long time ago, in another lifetime, Ānanda wasn't an enlightened monk at all. He was a simple grass seller, and he was struggling, big time, just to get by during a horrible famine. The whole country was starving. Ānanda himself had next to nothing. And one day, he sees this holy man, a sage, walking back to the city with a begging bowl that is completely empty. And even though he was starving himself, he felt this overwhelming compassion and made a choice that was going to change his destiny forever. I mean, just try to put yourself in his shoes for a second. He's starving. The whole nation is starving. He comes across a Pratyekabuddha, which is this incredibly rare self-enlightened sage who hasn't gotten any food. And without even hesitating, Ānanda gives him his entire meal for the day. It's just an incredible act of selfless giving, especially when there was so little to go around. So, what happens next? What's the payoff for this amazing act of kindness? Well, the karmic return was staggering. Because of that one meal, he was reborn 7 different times as a king up in the heavens. And it didn't stop there. After those lifetimes were done, he was reborn another 7 times as a really powerful and respected king right here on Earth. Let that sink in for a moment. 14 lifetimes of just the highest fortune you can imagine, both in the heavens and here on Earth. And all of it, every bit, came from one compassionate decision to share a single meal. It's such a powerful illustration of karma, right? The idea that one simple, pure intention can send these massive, positive ripples out into the future. So, as you can imagine, the other monks were just floored by Ānanda's story. And it turns out the Buddha himself had been listening in from his room. He realized this was the perfect moment to shift everyone's focus, not just to the past, but way, way into the future. And what he describes is, well, it's basically a golden age, a world that's almost hard for us to even wrap our heads around, a time of incredible peace where people would live for 80,000 years. Society would be totally prosperous, overflowing with abundance. And get this, sickness would be so rare that only 3 common illnesses would even exist. Ruling over this incredible world is a great and just king named Kay. He'd govern with so much compassion that he wouldn't need weapons or violence. And after a long, wonderful reign, he'd eventually just leave the throne behind to seek enlightenment for himself. But that's not even the main event. The prophecy goes deeper. The Buddha foretold something even more significant was coming, a new spiritual guide for this enlightened world. This future Buddha, his name is Maitreya, would show up on Earth to teach the pure Dharma, the universal truths, the path to enlightenment, just like the Buddha was doing in his own time. He'd be a teacher for everyone, for humans and gods alike. Okay, so everything is sounding pretty hopeful, pretty amazing, right? Well, just as the Buddha finishes sharing this vision, a challenger appears, and it's none other than the demon Mara, the ultimate tempter in Buddhist stories, and he shows up to offer his own version of the future. Mara's idea of a perfect future, it's all about pure sensory pleasure. He paints this picture of a future defined by external stuff. People covered in jewels, wearing beautiful clothes, perfuming their bodies, and just spending all their time enjoying music and dancing. But the Buddha counters him immediately. For him, the perfect future has nothing to do with what's on the outside. It's all about what's on the inside. Inner peace, spiritual freedom. He says the people will be free from doubt and greed,
and they'll be focused on attaining true liberation. And this is the heart of it, right here. It's a total clash of values. You've got Mara's future on one side, it's all about materialism and less distraction, and then on the other side, you've got the Buddha's future, which is all about mindfulness, inner peace, and spiritual liberation. And Mara doesn't give up easily. He tries again and again, tempting them with visions of fine food and all kinds of pleasure. But every single time, the Buddha just calmly counters with the higher value of things like spiritual practice and inner contentment. In the end, Mara's got nothing left. He's defeated, and he vanishes in shame. And that really brings the whole question right back to us, doesn't it? This ancient story, it's not just some prophecy about the distant future. It's like a mirror for our own world right now. It forces us to ask what a good life really is. Is it found in the constant chase for more things, more sensations, more distractions? Or is it found in cultivating what's on the inside? The choice, the story suggests, is always ours. Thanks for digging into this one with me.